There's only one way to avoid criticism. Do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. These are some meaningful words by Aristotle that sum up the entire world of criticism. That no matter who we are or what we do, we will always be criticized. Hello everyone. My name is Shramika. I'm an engineer by profession and a seeker by passion. Irrespective of how skilled we are or how much experience we have, we all will be criticized for our work. And sometimes that criticism may not be good. And dealing with this negative feedback can be challenging. For example, when I used to take my initial drafts of my initial YouTube videos to my husband Kunal, he would suggest so many changes and I would just get so defensive about it, and I would be like, no, what I've done is correct only. But over time I have understood that he's just trying to help me. He's just trying to improve my draft from the point of view that I may not have considered. So if I may say so, over time I have become better at taking criticism. What changed?
Now I don't read her drafts only.
No, not that. In this video, we will discuss 5 easy and small steps to take to accept criticism and work on it really well. I'll also share a bonus tip with you all, so make sure you stick till the end. Alright, now let's get started. Step 1. Filter. It is really important to understand whether the criticism that's coming your way is helpful or hurtful. Hurtful criticism can be and should be forgotten and not taken personally at all, because most of this criticism is coming out of people who are frustrated with their own lives and take out that frustration on us. Remind yourself that what people say about you is a reflection of them and not you. There's a famous line by Terry Cole Whitaker. What you think of me is none of my business. How I love that line. If you know that the criticism coming your way is hurtful and not helpful, then politely leave from such a situation. Do what you feel in your heart is right. You will be criticized anyways. I believe I shared this line with you in my birthday video where I shared the 10 lessons from the last decade of my life. Do watch it if you haven't already. Step 2. It's not personal. Now that you have filtered out the hurtful criticism, what you have left with you is the helpful criticism, correct? Now the most important thing to remember here is that the criticism is about the work and not about you. Don't take it personally. We often confuse both of these. Shramika, I think this was a good presentation, but I think you can further improve it by adding more data. Oh, so you're saying that I'm not good enough to create a presentation? My life is such a waste. I know nothing. Stop taking the feedback to your heart. Listen to it carefully with an open mind instead. Step 3. Pause, breathe and smile. Our minds always tend to think of the worst first and give the worst reaction of all. So make sure you're smiling and breathing deep while you're listening to your criticism. This helps you calm your mind and relax your mind, and also remember to pause for at least a second before you respond back. Try not to react at all. While 1 second may seem insignificant in real life, it's ample amount of time for our brain to process a situation. Step 4. Listen and be grateful. You've avoided your typical reaction, your brain is working, and you're smiling and breathing. High five! Now you're ready to engage in a productive dialogue like your competent and thoughtful self. As the person is sharing your feedback, listen to them closely. Allow them to share their complete thoughts without any interruption. When they are done, repeat back what you have heard and show gratitude to those who give you constructive criticism. Because as much as it is difficult to take constructive criticism, it is equally, if not more challenging, to give constructive criticism. So many criticisms. I hope I made sense. So thank every person who gives you meaningful feedback, for they want you to succeed. Although it may hurt to know that you did something wrong, understand their motives and thank them. Step 5. Follow up. After you have cleared up things with your critique, it is then time for you to implement them to the best of your abilities, and then follow up after. Maybe even decide when you will follow up later. Basically, it's like you have to close the feedback loop with your actions. Now let's see all this in action. Shramika, I think this was a good presentation, but I think you can further improve it by adding more data. Shramika, just remember that he wants the best for you and your work. Don't take this personally. It's about this presentation only and not about you. I really appreciate you taking out the time and helping me with this presentation. So what I'm hearing is that the slide number 8 requires more data and the slide number 9 requires a better representation of the data. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Sure. So I will make these changes. I will collate all the data and maybe share the presentation with you again by tomorrow end of day. Would that be fine?
Sure, sounds good.
Thank you. Now it's time for the bonus tip. Resist the instinct to make excuses for your work not being at par. That might make you feel a little better in the moment, in the short term, but in the long term it will only do you more harm because it will mean that you're repeating the same mistakes over and over again. Instead, you need to be fully prepared to accept that you're not the greatest coder out there or the greatest designer, at least not yet, and there's always room for improvement. Rather than battling against negative feedback, embrace it and use it to improve your work. Alright, now this was it for today's video. I hope you all liked it. If you did, then you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share this video with at least one more person who might find it useful. Always remember, if it's something you can improve, take the experience as lesson learned and a way to do things differently. Happy learning and bye!